Okay, so welcome back to this course. So now in this section we will manage our reviews and orders basically of the users, right? So first of all, in this video let's create our orders, reducer and action for the currently logged in user orders. Okay, for example, this user has placed the order. I also want to display here the orders option, and I will display all the orders that has user placed. And in my previous videos I have disabled the orders option for the admins, so I think so it is fine to have orders in the menu of admins also. Okay, because admin can also place the order. So what I do is, first of all, simply go to my headers, layout, header.js, and here I have just used, I simply cut this link from here, so Control X, and put it with the other links right here, and I will simply type here if user.role is equal to admin, then I have to display this link. Alright, so put that here. Let's remove this one and also use here the and, like this. If I simply save it, and now if I go back and reload the page, you will see here I also have dashboard and orders also. Okay, so good. And I only want to display dashboard to the admins. Okay, so now I simply go back, close this one, and in the constants, orders constants, let's copy these threes, Control C, put that here, and that is my orders. So that is the orders of a currently logged in user. So I simply type here my orders request success and fail. Simply save it, and I simply actually simply copy this one, so Control C, close it, for reducers, then the order reducers. Okay, and we have to bring in, actually I copy these threes, so Control C, put that here, and just replace this one, so my orders. Alright, and at the end, after this reducer, I created my own reducer, so export const my orders reducer. Okay, and that will be equal to state, in that I simply put in here the state, the orders, that is an empty array. Okay, and then after that the action, and first of all this switch. Okay, and then the default case is going to be return the state. Alright, and then let's first of all bring in our first case, so case my order request, and that I simply return here loading to true. Okay, and then case is my orders success, and that I simply, oops, I have to remove this one, I simply return loading to false, and then the payload, orders is going to be action.payload. Okay, and then let's just case my orders fail. Okay, so return the loading to false, and then the error will be action.payload. So action.payload, and then it's also bringing our clear errors here, so simply copy this one, Control C, and put that right here. Alright, so simply save it, and before that I go to my start.js and bring in here the my order reducer, so Control C from here, put that here, and that will be my orders and my orders reducer. Alright, simply save this one, go to top, and let's copy these three constants, Control C, and then I simply go back to my actions and then the order actions, and I bring that in the constants, and then at the end here I will define my function. So export const my orders equals to the arrow function async dispatch. In that I simply have to first of all put in here try catch. Try catch, and then first of all I dispatch here. The type is my orders fail, and then the payload is going to be error response data message, and in the try I will simply first of all dispatch. Type is my orders request, and then let's simply send the request. So pull out the data from await axios dot get the slash API slash v1 slash orders slash me, and then after this I will simply dispatch my success. So dispatch type is going to be my orders success, and then the payload is going to be data dot orders, right? So simply save it, and that's it. We are done, and we don't have to put here the ID, right? And let's simply save it. Let's also put here comment that currently logged in user orders. So we save it. Alright. So now we are also done with our my orders action, and in my next video I will loop through all the orders and display them on my orders. Okay. So I will see you in the next video. Okay, so welcome back to this course. So now in this video you have to display my all orders on the orders option. Alright. So before that I have to install a package that is called MDB React, because I have to use a data table, because I want to display all the orders in the table, and that table is actually fully functional table that includes the pagination, search, and also sorting. Okay, so I will install that. First of all, the package, I go to new terminal, cd to front end, and you can read about this package more on the npm website or their GitHub repository. Okay, so that is npm mdb react, and they have a lot of components, but I have to use only mdb data table. So install mdb react if you also want to store or use the same table, and this is totally optional. You can also use other tables, or you can design your own UI to display the orders. That's totally depend upon you, and just to save some time I am using this package to display all the data. Alright, so simply install this and then we will move on. Okay, so package is installed successfully, so I simply go back and in the components I create here a new folder that is called order, and the folder I create my first file that is called let's call it list orders.js. so RACFE to create my basic arrow function snippet, and then that let's first of all go to the cart. Let's copy some data. I simply copy this one, so Control C, close it. Let's put it here. So I have to import the fragment. Also I have to use the use effect, so use effect hook. Okay, and then I have to bring in the link, the metadata, and also let's import here, import the mdb data table from the mdb react. Alright, and then I need here metadata, and also import the loader. So import loader from the $/layout/loader. Then we also use here use alert, and then use dispatch, use selector, and we have to bring in actually from the order actions. So order actions, and I have to bring in the first of all my orders, and then the clear errors. Alright, first of all, let's quickly set up here. So const alert is equal to use alert, then const dispatch is equal to use dispatch, and then const I have to basically, let's put out here the loading error and the orders, use selector from state.my orders. Alright, and then let's use here use effect, and in that first of all I have to dispatch my orders. Okay, and after getting the order, I also have to type here that if there is some possible error, I simply alert dot error the error, and then simply dispatch clear errors. And let's also put in there the dependencies. First of all, dispatch alert and then the error. Right, and let's first of all create here a function, because let me first of all put in the fragment just to show you before that. So fragment, and then put in here the metadata. So metadata title is going to be my orders. Alright, and then I will check that first of all h1, that is my orders. I don't have markup for this because it is really simple, so I have to use here h1 class name. Let's put here margin top of 5. Okay, now after the h1 I simply check that if it is loading. So if loading, then simply have to display here the loader, else I'll simply put in here the mdb data table, and in that we simply have to pass first for the data option, and the data we have to pass the data that we want to display. Right, then after that I have to put here the class name. Let's give it a padding x of 3 from both sides. So I put here bordered. Okay, so bordered, BORDERED, border. I want to display the border of the table, and then it should be stripped. Okay, and then on the hover I have to also display the hover effect. Right, and just pass these three values, and the data I have to simply call here a function that is called set orders that I am going to define in a minute. So I simply defined here the function that is set orders. So const set orders. Okay, that is going to be an arrow function. Okay, then in that first of all I put in here the data. Okay, so data will contains is an object that will contains two things. First of all, the columns. Okay, like what columns I want to display, and this is an array of the objects for different columns. So let's define our columns here. So the first value is label, what I want to display in the column heading. So that is order ID, then the field ID, for example, that it's ID itself, and then the sort, how I want to sort my data, and I type here ASC for the ascending order. Okay, so this is my first label, first column. So simply copy it, put here the second one, that is the number of items. that how many items you have ordered. So number of items, okay, and that is the number of items. Remember, you give this field, this is like the ID, we have to connect the column and row based on this value. Alright, so make sure that you give here proper values. So again, simply copy this one, put here, here, and here. So after number of items, I want to display here the amount that you have paid. So amount, that is amount, and then the delivered status is true or false. Okay, or what I do is inside of delivered I put in here the status, that it is in shipping or it is in like processing, whatever it is. Alright, so then status, and then the here put in here status. So Control C, put it here, this is status, and then we have at the end the actions that I can put in here. Actions like you can view it, you can delete it. Definitely admins can only delete it, but all the actions I will put that here. Okay, so actions. In this case, the user can only view the orders. So after the columns, I have to define here the rows. Rows is the data that I want to display. So rows, and I simply put in here an empty array, and then after this data object, I loop through all my orders. So I simply type in here orders dot for each order, I simply have to put the data in the rows. So data dot rows, we know that this is also an array. So data dot rows dot push, I have to push all the orders one by one. First of all, the ID, that is going to the current order dot underscore ID. Okay, and then the number of items. So number of items is going to be order dot order items dot length. Okay, and then the amount. So amount is going to be, I have backticks dollar, and I concatenate here the orders order dot total price that user has paid. Okay, and then the total price I will simply have to give here the status, status. Okay, and simply type here div that has class name. I don't have to give here div, I think so. What I do is I simply put in here that order dot status, order dot order status, and I concatenate, put that in the string order dot order status dot includes, okay, dot includes the delivered. Okay, so if order, I move this brackets from here. So if order dot order status exists and the order status dot includes delivery, then I will simply have to put in here the p tag, that will be the order dot order status, and then I give it class name of green. Okay, or I'll give it a style instead of class. I put in here style. So style, then color is going to be GRWN, green. Okay, and else I simply have to put in here red. Okay, and then after the status I have to put here the actions. So I simply go here, actions. And I think so I have to put here the comma. Okay. Then the actions, I simply have to put in here the link. Oops. I simply have to put in here the link. And the link I will have to go to the slash order slash the ID of that order. So put in here dollar order dot underscore ID, and then in the link I will simply put in here the icon. So I put in here icon, and the icon has the class name of font awesome, that is fa -I, and then let's actually put in here the class name. We go to the new line, give it a class name. So class name, that is btn, then btn primary to make that button blue. Okay, simply save it, and then after this I simply have to return the data. So remember, we have to pass in here the data, so now it is returning the data, which is column and rows, right? So now if I simply save it, I simply go to my app.js, and let's actually put that right under it. So import the we have created list orders from /components /order /list orders, right? And this is a protected route, so I simply copy this one, Ctrl+C+V. The path is definitely /orders /me, and the component is list orders, right? So simply save it. Okay, so now if I simply go back and reload the page, and now if I go to this orders, you will see here, boom, we have our orders. So my orders, and you can see the table. It includes the pagination, it includes the search, it includes the how many items you want to display, right? So this is the, so you can see that this is the order ID, this is the number of items, this is the price, okay, and this is delivered, and this is in processing, this is also in processing. And you can also view it, but right now we don't have this functionality yet. So if I, for example, I want to sort particular order, I simply copy this ID and put in the field. You will see that I only get here 1027 result, right? So everything works properly in this table. So now we have successfully displayed all the orders here. And now in my next video, I want to display, if I click on this I button, I have to display the complete details of this particular order. All right. And if I go back, let's actually give it margin Y of 5 to give both margin top and bottom. And yes, now it looks fine. So in my next video, I will handle this I button. Okay, so I will see you in the next video. Okay, so welcome back to this course. So now before moving on toward this I button, I want to tell you that why this status is delivered, because this is not the order from while recording this course. This product order was actually present before making this course when I was building this project. Okay, so this is the previous order, so that's why its status is delivered. Right. So now let's handle this I button. I just want to clear it why it is here delivered. So I go back to my VS Code and close this one and also this one. I simply go to the constants and the order constants, copy these three, so Ctrl+C, put it here, and that is order details request. Right, simply close this one, go to reducers, order reducers, and let's copy these three, put that here, and let's change it to order details request success and fail. And let's actually copy this one to just save some time. So I copy this, put that here, and let's change it to order details reducer. Alright, and the order is going to be an empty object inside of array because this is a one order. And for the order details request, loading is true. Order details success, that is loading to false. Order will be action.payload, right? And then order details fail is going to be action.payload. Simply save it, go to store.js. Let's actually bring that in. So Control C, put that here, and also put here the comma. Simply save it, close this one, go to top. Now go to the actions, order actions. I will simply copy this from here, so Control C, put that here, that is get order details, right? So get order details, and dispatch here first of all order detail request, then order detail success, and then at the end order detail fail. So that's going to be data.order, so /API/v1/order, and then slash the ID of that order. And I have to pass in the ID right here. Okay, so simply save it. Now let's actually create our component in the same video. So I simply go to my order new file here, that is called order details.js, basic markup, and I simply go to the list orders and simply copy this. So Control C, put that right here. I need React fragment use effect link. I don't need table here. Metadata, loader, use alert, and also this one. And this one I have to get order details. And let's actually copy these also. Control C, put that here, and let's put in here so cons. Let's put out the loading error, and then the order state dot order details. Again I have to put here small o, and then let's also pull out the shipping info because I have to display the complete order details. So shipping info, order items, then the payment info, the user, total price that he has paid, then the order status, and you have to pull that in from the order that you have just pulled here. Okay, so shipping info, order items, payment info, user, total price, order status, and then the order. And also I simply copy this use effect, so simply copy it and I paste that right here. So I have to pass in here get order details. I have to pass in the ID, so match dot params dot ID, and so alert error, and also put in here match dot params dot ID. Alright, and now I will simply have to put in here the fragment and also put in here the meta data title is going to be the order details. You can also embed ID here, but I think so this is fine for the title. And we'll check that if it is loading, I have displayed the loader, else I just put in here the fragment. Okay, and in the fragments I simply go back to my notepad. In the order details.html I copy my markup, so I copy this one, so Control C, go back, and let's put it here. So we save it, and now press Control H to replace the class with the class name. Okay, so first of all, the order ID, so that is going to be order._id. Then the shipping info, we have displayed here the username, so that is user dot, if user exists, then user.username, and the phone number is in the shipping info. Okay, so that is shipping info exists, then shipping info dot the phone number. Okay, and for the address I create here a variable. Let's concatenate outside, so const shipping details equals to, first of all make sure that the shipping info exists, and if that exists, then first of all I have to concatenate here the shipping info dot address, then the shipping info dot city, then shipping info dot city, then put in here the postal code, so postal code, then shipping info dot country. Okay, I simply put in here the shipping details right here, so that is shipping details. Simply save it, and for the paid, that user has paid or not, I will simply check that in the class name, instead of green color will basically make it green, and this green is defined in my CSS file. So I put here, now is paid is true or false. So if it is paid is true, then the color is going to be green color. Okay, so green color, else it is going to be red color. Okay, and then again I simply copy this from here, so Control C, put that here. If it has paid, then I have to display here paid, and else not paid. Alright, and for the order status, I simply have to apply the same logic in the list orders. I simply copy this one, actually, that is order, so Control C, and then here in the class name, instead of green color, I put here that order status includes delivered, then it is going to be the green color, else it is going to be the red color. So I simply put that here, and then the delivered I put in here the order status. So order status, and then for the order items, after the HR, this card item, and here I have to display, I have to loop through it, so I simply put in here card, also no, that is order items, not card items. So order items exist, then order items dot map, I have to map to each item, and I will simply put in here the, let's put in here this code, so this one div cut it here and put that right here. Simply save it. And now I have to simply put in here the source. I have to put in here the item dot image, and then in this here I also put in here key. So that is item dot product. Okay, and then let's put in here the alt. I put in here the item dot name and also item dot name. Here let's put in here the link, and link will go to slash product slash item dot product, and then the price, put in here the item dot price, and for the pieces, the quantity, I put in here item dot quantity. Simply save it, and I think so that's it. Oh, we haven't used this payment info and total price, so I have to put in here total price also. Total price, simply save it, and I think so I have is paid. If I go to my backend models, order, shipping info, user, payment info, yes, paid, no, paid at. I think so I don't have is paid, so Control F is paid now. So what I do is simply go back and I check here this payment info. So const is paid equals to, if payment info exists, and then payment info dot status is equal to succeeded, SUCCEEDED. So if it is succeeded, then this means that it has paid the payment, so it is true, and it is going to be false. Simply save it. And now if I go to my app.js, let's put that right here. So slash order slash ID of that order, and let's bring in the component first of all. So import order details from slash order details, and order details. Simply save it. So match is not defined. I will bring in the match. Okay, and now I simply go back, reload the page, and now if I simply click on this I button, you will see here the order ID, which is this one, the shipping info, name, phone number, address, amount. So payment is paid, order is delivered, and this is the item. Alright, and so actually I think so when we are doing our backend, then we have placed this order, this fruit, this apple order. Okay, so I remember that. Okay, and if I go back to my orders, if I click on this one, you will see here it is paid, but the status is processing. And if I go back and open this one, this last one, so this amount, so order status is processing, and now these are the two items. You can see that these are 3 pieces, this is 2 pieces, and there are prices. Alright, so successfully displaying our order details in the orders, and this part is done. So in my next video, I will basically, if I go to my home page and the product, I have to display here the all reviews, and also if I click on the submit review, I have to enable these stars, the hover effect, and also I have to type in the command and submit it. I have to post that review in that particular product. Alright, so I'll handle the reviews in my next videos. I hope that you understand what we have done in the orders, details, whatever we have here. If there is any confusion, you can definitely ask me a question. I am always here to help you. Okay, so I will see you in the next video. Okay, so welcome back to this course. So now first of all in this video let's create our new review reducer and action. Right, so I simply go to my constants and in the products constants, because review is the part of the products, so I simply copy this one. So Control C, put that right here, and let's replace this product details with the new review request success fail, and also I have to put here one more thing that is called reset. Okay, so Control D, reset, simply save it, copy this one, go back into the reducer, product reducer, and let's bring those in. So the first one is this one, then we have the success, then we have the reset, then we have the fail. Okay, so simply go to the bottom and let's actually copy copy. Let's copy this one. So simply copy it, put that here. So that is new review reducer, and that has the state of empty. This one, first of all we have the request, so new review request, that will set loading to true, then new review success, then new review fail. So when that loading is false, success, this is not the product, this is actually the success, that is it posted or not, that will be action.payload, and fail will contain the error. New review fail, that will be action.payload. Oh, that is also action.payload, not null. Right, I think so. Yes. Okay, so success is done, fail is done, and also I have reset. So I simply put that here. So case new review reset, I simply have to return from here whatever in the state, and then the success is going to be false. Simply save it, and let's actually copy these variables or constants. Control C, go to the actions, product actions, and on the top let's bring this review in constants, and at the end I simply copy this one. Control C, put that here. So that is actually new review, right? So I have to pass in the review data, right? And first of all the new review request, then I have to create the header, the config that will contains the headers, that will contain the content type application /JSON. So data axios dot, and then this is a put request, because we know that when we basically give the review, if it is the first time, then it is going to be a new review, but if a user gives the review again to the same product, then we have to also update the previous review. So that's why I have put use here put request, and on the back end we also have put request. I know that you remember that. That will go to /API/v1/review, I think so. Let me confirm that. So in the routes product /review, yes, and you can see that this is the put request. So /review, then the review data that we have to pass, which is the comment and the rating. So review data and then the config. Alright, then after that I have to simply dispatch here new product success, new product fail data dot success. So simply save it, and I think so that's it. In my next video I will basically go into my, close this one, I will go into my components, product details, and here I have the rating model, this one. Okay, so I will work on it and I will send the review to the backend and post that in the reviews array. Okay, so I will see you in the next video. Okay, so welcome back to this course. So now let's handle this review model in this video. And before working on this model, I want to only display this button to the logged in user, because definitely only logged in user can give the reviews on the product. Okay, so what I do is I simply put in here that I check that if user exists, this means that user is logged in, then I will display this button, which is this one. So I cut it from here, put that right here, and else if that doesn't exist, then I will simply put in here div with class alert, and then dot alert dash danger to create danger alert. Okay, and then let's give also class of margin top of 5, and in that I simply put in here login to post your review, right? And then type is alert, so type is equal to alert, and let's simply save it. Okay, so user is not defined, you have to bring in the user from the auth state. So const user equals to state dot auth. You can also bring in the is authenticated if you want. Okay, so that's totally optional. So now I simply save it, go back, reload the page. If I go to any product, you will see the review button, but if I log out from my application and go to product, you will see here login to post your review. Alright, so simply log in back with my password. So now I can view this button like this. Okay, so let's go back, and what I do is when I click on this button, I have to set the styles for this stars, because I have to also display the hover effect of these stars. So what I do is I add here on this button, I add on click. So on click I simply have to set user, or type here set user ratings. Okay, and I go to the top and let's define it here. So that is going to be function. Let's put in here function that is set user ratings. Okay, and then that first of all I have to select the all stars. So const I'm going to use here vanilla JavaScript in this function. So document dot query selector, and I will select here query select all because I have 5 stars, and put in here dot star. Each star has a class of stars, so I select all the stars, and then stars dot for each star I will simply have to also bring in the index. So index is like the current iteration number. Okay, so index I will simply type here star. I will add a property star dot star value that will be equal to index plus 1. Okay, so I will add a new property of star value to each star, that is index plus 1. So first time it is going to be 0, so 0 plus 1 will be 1, and then after that I will simply add here multiple events. So I have to add click event, then the mouse over event, and then the mouse out event. mouse over, mouse out, dot for each function, I simply put in here star dot add event listener e, then the function name, that is show rating, that I'm going to define here, show ratings. Okay, so I will add event listener to every star, 3 events: click event, mouse over, and mouse out. Okay, and then here I will simply define function, that is show ratings. Okay, that also contains the event here. Then I'll simply type here stars dot for each star and index. I'll simply check that if e dot type, if event dot type is equal to click, okay, then I have to set else, do something, and if it is mouse over, and if it is mouse out. Okay, so if it is click event, then I simply check that if index is less than this dot star value, then I will star dot class list all the classes of the star, that is star dot class list dot add. I will add here orange class, and orange is just a CSS class that contains the color property. Okay, so it will change it to orange, and then I will put here else star dot class list dot remove the orange. Okay, so if the index is less than the star value, which is this one, then I will set the I set the star to orange, else I will remove this class, which is the orange. Okay, this is for the click. Okay, for the mouse over, I simply have to copy this one, so I simply copy it. It is going to be same, but I want to put here the, let's actually select the second one also, yellow. So if the index is less than this dot star value, then it is going to be yellow, and I have to remove the yellow for the mouse over. And for the mouse out, when user remove the mouse from the star, I simply have to remove this yellow. All right, and let's actually test it out. If I simply save it, why I'm putting start again and again, I don't know. So that is on line 64. Okay, if I simply save it. Okay, so now if I simply go back to my Chrome and let's reload it to check it out. So if I click on submit review, and cannot read property for each of undefined, line 61, 61, which is here. So stars, or we select all dot star, then this one, like where it is. Let me put here log to check it out. So type here test, simply save it, and now if I go back, let's reload it, submit review, and you will see here, if I go back, I think so we have to put here semicolon, because I think so it is matching this with this one. So that's why I put here semicolon to check, to tell that this statement ends here. So now if I press Ctrl S, I have seen this type of issue in JavaScript first time actually. So if I reload it now, and yes, so now if I click on submit your review, you will see here now the stars are working properly. Now if I click on this, you will see here it is now orange, and if I click on 5, now the 5 stars are orange. If I click on 2, so it is working properly. So now after setting the stars, I have to simply define here the quantity and then the const rating set rating equal to the use state by default is going to be 0, but also the comment. So comment, that is set comment is called use state, that is going to be empty string. Alright, and let us actually also bring in here the bring in from the product detail auth, and let's also bring in the error. We already have here error, so I bring in it as review error. Okay, and then also bring in the success use selector state dot new review. Simply save it. So I will pull this error as review error, then I will also check that here. So Control C, put that here. If it is review error, then I have to display this one. Let's also add it right here. Okay, and now we have set the rating, and when we click on it, when we click on this, I have to also set rating to this dot star value. Okay, I also set the rating here. Alright, and then let's create here a submit handler. So const the submit, or I type here review handler, because that is not a form, so I put here review handler. Get here form data equals to new form data, and I have to pass in the form data dot set. First of all, the ID of the product. First of all, let's set the rating, that is rating. Then we have to set the comment, and then the product ID. So product ID, that is going to be the match.params .id, and then I will simply dispatch from here the new review that we also have to bring in, and pass in the form data. Simply save it, go to the top, and let's bring in from actions slash the oops, we can bring that in from here, that is okay. So now, and also let's pull out the success. I check that if success okay, let's also put the success here. I will simply alert.success and pass in here review posted successfully, and then dispatch here the type, that is, I go to my actions, product actions. I have to bring in this, so I simply copy this whole from here and put that right here. So I have to only bring in new review reset. That is /, and I put that right here. So we save it. Okay, and now let's actually go to the bottom and in the model I have the button, which is this one, submit button. I will simply add here after this text word, let's put in here on click. I simply have to put in here the review handler. Okay, and one more thing, which is this text area, so I put in here value that is going to be comment, and then this on change I have to simply set e dot target dot value. So we save it, and let's also bring them to the new line. Okay, and one more thing, that if you see here, this is the close button. So data dismiss, we have to dismiss the model when we click on this close button. Okay, so class name is close. Also, when I submit this review, I will figure out later. When I will submit this review, when I click on the submit review, I also have to close the button. So I simply put here area label to close and data dismiss to model. Okay, so it will automatically close this also when we click on submit. All right, so simply save it and let's actually test it out. If we go back, reload it. So cannot destructure property error of object as it is undefined. I think so. We haven't defined the new review in this state. So what I do is I simply go to my store.js, and you can see that we don't have defined that here. So I will pull that out here, new review reducer. Let's copy this one, put that here and here. Simply save it. Now if I go back and reload it, you will see here, if I click on submit review, let's click with 5 stars and type here awesome. Oh, I can't type here. I simply go back to my product details. So I simply go to the bottom here. Oh, that is capital C. So let's save it. And now if I go back and reload it, submit, and now I can type yes. So I simply type here awesome and I'll give 5 stars, and if I click on submit, you will see here review posted successfully. Alright, and you can see that we actually have here 1 review, that is 1 star. Okay, so now let's update it. So click on it, this one, submit. Now you can see that now its overall rating is 4. So in my next video I will show all my reviews here, then you will have a better idea. Okay, so now it is posted successfully, you can see that from here. In the next video I will display all the reviews of that particular product. Okay, so I will see you in the next video. Okay, so welcome back to this course. So now in this video let's display our all reviews here. Okay, so simply go back to my VS Code, and then at the end, just before fragment div, and let's actually put it here, and then we will figure it out. So I'll check that product dot reviews exists. Make sure that then product dot reviews dot length, make sure that the length is greater than 0. Okay, then I will display here my reviews. So let's actually put out here p tag just to check it out. I put in here let's loop through it. So product dot reviews dot map for each review. Oops, I have to actually put in here p tag and then review dot comment. So just save it just to test it out. And now if I go back reload the page. Cannot read property length of undefined, so that is reviews. So we save it, reload it, and if I go back, you will see here the review.comment. Oh, we have to wrap that in here. We save it, and if I go back, reload it, you will see here awesome, right? So now we're successfully displaying it here. So rather than putting that here, I create a separate component. I create here a new folder that is called review. Okay, so in the review, that is folder, I'll let it create a new folder that is review, and in the review I can create a new file that is called list reviews.js, RACFE to give a basic markup, and I have to pass in the reviews. I import that here, so that is going to be the list reviews, and we have to pass in the reviews the product dot reviews. Okay, and then let's bring that in. So let's import list reviews from the dot slash the review slash list reviews. Simply save it, and now simply go back here. I simply go back to my notepad, and in the list reviews.html I copy this code from here, this markup. So Control C, go back, put that here, and we don't need here the metadata, so let's simply save it. So other reviews, then HR, and then let's here put the loop. So that is, make sure that the reviews exist, then reviews dot map, and I will map through each review. I also gotta put in here this div. Okay, so first of all I have to put in here the review name, so by review dot name, then the comment review dot comment. Okay, and here I have to pass in the key also. So key is going to be the review dot underscore id. So we save it, and now if I go back, you will see here by Ghulam Abbas, awesome. Now we have to fill these stars. So I simply in the inner I put here style, put in here the width style. You have to pass in the width, that is going to be dollar, in that review dot rating, and divide rating by 5, and then multiply it with the 100, and then the percent. So to save it, so that is review, save it, and now if I go back, you will see here an error. Reload it. You will see here now it is filled, so 5 stars, awesome. Okay, and now if I update it, put in 5 stars, awesome, product. Okay, click on submit. So review process successfully. You will see here now it is 5 stars and awesome product. Okay. So now we're successfully displaying all the reviews of these products here, and we are done with the reviews and the orders, and that's it for the user part. And now I have to only handle this dashboard. So when I click on this dashboard, I have to display the complete dashboard of the administrator, where he can create the product, view all the products, manage the users, ratings, reviews, orders, everything in the dashboard. Okay. So in my next video, I will start adding the admin panel for the admins. Okay. So I hope that you understand what you have done in this section. So in the next section, I'm going to work on the admin routes on the front end. Okay. So I will see you in the next section.